हरि हरि ओम, हरि हरि ओम, हरि हरि ओम, हरि हरि ओम। जय नारायण परिपूर्ण कारण ओम, हरि हरि ओम। जय नारायण परिपूर्ण कारण ओम, जय जय शंख सुचक्र गदाम्बुज पीतांबर धर ओम, जय जय शंख सुचक्र गदाम्बुज पीतांबर धर ओम, हरि हरि ओम, हरि हरि ओम, हरि हरि ओम। श्रीधर श्रीकर श्रीवत्साङ्कित श्रितजनवत्सल वो, श्रीधर श्रीकर श्रीवत्साङ्कित श्रितजनवत्सल वो, श्रीमधुसूदन श्रीमधुरानन त्रिभुवन पालन वो, श्रीमधुसूदन श्रीमधुरानन त्रिभुवन पालन वो, हरि हरि ओम, हरि हरि ओम, हरि हरि ओम। नतर न भंजन मद जन भंजन सच्चिन्मय हरि ओम, नत जन रंजन मद जन भंजन सच्चिन्मय हरि ओम, श्रीमधुसूदन श्रीमधुरानन त्रिभुवन पालन ओम, श्रीमधुसूदन श्रीमधुरानन त्रिभुवन पालन ओम, हरि हरि ओम। जय नारायण परिपूर्ण कारण ओम, जय जय शंख सुचक्र गदाम्बुज पीतांबर धर ओम, हरि हरि 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 ओम।
You have to also be little passionate towards me, otherwise I have to have the range like this to move. Shri Krishna. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै स्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक् प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Can you reduce the volume a little bit? There is a resound. It's on wireless too. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. This was the closest Sunday to that Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving. And it started in Houston, CHYK, which we quickly adapted, was to make the Thanksgiving a CHYKsgiving. That we all get together and celebrate that thankfulness. Though I personally believe that every day that I wake up, I have absolutely no guarantee that I will wake up. As one poet put it very elegantly, Nishvase natu mama vishwasaha. The air, Nishvasa, is the air that we breathe out. Guarantee is that that air will come back. While going, it will say, I see you for the last time. There's no guarantee that we have a tomorrow. But when we wake up, starting from that moment, every experience that we go through, many don't understand what we are going through. They refuse, reject, revolt, because it is not to my liking. But every single experience that comes unto us is coming only from the standpoint of strengthening me, guiding me to become a better individual. Nothing less than that. So every person, everything, every environment that is provided unto me, though I may brand it as good, bad, ugly, indifferent, various categories that I put it under, every single one of such experiences, however bad, however good, that I am to be thankful for. And the best example that I see is of, again, Prahlada. I draw so much of inspiration from these three kids, Nachiketa and Dhruva. And amazing kids. They were hardly 6-7 years old, and in 3 months' time they achieved that which many of us take lives after lives to achieve. Talk about accomplishing. Talk about being a prodigy. They are true prodigies. Suffocated his life right since he was about 4.5, 5 years old, up until his father had to meet his fate in the form of Lord Narasimha. And Lord takes him close, puts him on his lap. And here it's a very amazing thing that it is the Lord who is talking to this Prahlada. He's saying, Bho Vatsa Kshantavya. Kshanardam me, Kshana Ardam. Like it is like half a moment I was delayed in coming to rescue you. But for that, the Lord Himself, He says, forgive my delay. Ask something, because every avatara that I take, I have to give you a boon to that devotee for whose sake I have taken the avatara. I have to give a boon. Ask for a boon. So sitting in your lap, what else can I ask for? I don't need anything. No, I insist, says the Lord. And He says, but still I can't come to think of anything that I can ask. I feel very fulfilled. Think hard. So this little kid sincerely thinks. He says, if at all, because, oh Lord, you are insisting that I should ask, if at all I can ask of you something, of complete forgiveness and pardon on behalf of my father. Not because of what he has done unto me, but because of what he has spoken wrong about you. For that, may you forgive him. What about his tortures to you? Asked the Lord. It's a very sweet dialogue. And it's a very on his behalf, the Lord is Ugra. He is very terrifying form that he has taken. And both of them having this dialogue, it's a very, it's two sides of the pole, balance. Because, oh Lord, I don't consider that as torture. Even that traumatic experience that my father has put me through, I don't consider it as a bad experience. If I had not gone through that intense experience, probably my devotion unto you would not have been this intense. And if that intensity was leading to this point where I have the opportunity, the sacredness of sitting in your lap, all that torture was worth it. Therefore, I don't look at it as a traumatic or torture. So every experience that we go through, there is so much that we have to be thankful about. So every day, every moment, unto every single individual, single environment that we come across, there's so much that we have to be thankful about. Because this, the mindset that we have grown into is we have learned to be on a very defensive, cutting a sorry figure. Instead, I would love to see that society wherein we evolve to say thank you to everything rather than sorry. It's quite a paradigm shift to reach there. That is when truly our lives are touched with the thankfulness. That in itself will remove all animosity from every individual. So let's celebrate, not just today, not just this weekend, but every moment with that thankfulness in every form that we interact with. With that having said, Let's get to the story that is unfolding here. What is the story? The Devas had a battle, and it was quite a significant battle wherein they were almost on the verge of losing it. But with the sudden help of that Almighty, they won. When everything is going wrong, we also say, it is the first concept, first thing to be forgotten. So were these devas. They were bragging about what these different parts of the war that they were involved in, how they were the crucial most in making this victory a possibility. So that Brahman thought, let me give them a piece of his mind. And he does that in a very unique way. He comes, stands in that party, aloof, and starts looking at them without a smile, with a very gambhira face, with a very, how do I translate gambhira? Very serious face. So they all observe. And when somebody is looking at you without a smile, and you feel a little awkward. I've tried it. Don't try it. So I've tried it in different environments where nobody knew me. And I pick my experiment of the day. In Hindi, they call them bakra. And I pick because I should be able to handle that individual if something were to go south. And then with a complete poker face, straight face, keep staring at them. First they will look at you and then look around. Are they looking at me or someone else? Then they again look at you and then they say, is my face looking funny, or am I wearing something funny? Why is he giving me that look? And then when everything you decide, if you are the one being watched, decide that everything is okay, then you come to a point wherein you become challenging. Kya dekh raha hai, huh? What are you looking at? So these devas also tried, and they were like weirded out that there is this sharp looking guy. Firstly select Agni. Must have been the youngest, energetic one, eager to serve, eager to be selected. Said, go find who that fellow is. And by the time he reaches there, instead of he asking this new person who has crashed their party, who are you? He gets interrogated. Who the heck are you? And you're like, but the profoundness with which little. And then he meekly says, I am the famous Agni, Jata Veda. Achha, you're famous. I didn't know you. What are you famous for? I can burn anything. I can burn the entire earth. Achha. Then he pulls out a straw of grass, puts it on the platform there, and he says, try burning it. Well, if that's what you claim, chal dikha. And he puts his, I'm imagining that there was a flame that went across and did nothing. And sarvam, he gave his entire effort into it. Still, nothing happened to that blade of grass. And I'm assuming, a typical movie style, bas bahut kar liya, ja. Get out. And he feels very belittled, and he comes back in shame. Then the next person, I said, what, you couldn't? Let me go try it. So that is the mantra, seventh mantra. Please repeat after me. अथ वायवेतद् विजानीहि किमेतत् यक्षमिति तथेति. So they all looked at Vayu, Lord Vayu. Said, Mr. Vayu, now it is your turn, I believe. Go find out who exactly is this Yaksha. And then Vayu said, Tatha iti. As you say so. So now you can imagine, with all his pride and strength and valor shown in his walk. You know how they play tennis and other games where they are on a winning streak. The way they walk on the court, the way they move from their chair into the court, there is an air about it. And the one who is losing, you see their shoulders are sulking and their chest is inwardly, and they are very doubtful. They're constantly looking at their strings, and they're very fidgety. This fellow is like, with all the air of his pride, his strength. So he is walking in. So imagine that he's taking that stride to this Yaksha. Again, this Yaksha, unflinching, he looks at him down, upside down, and says the next mantra. Tadabhyadravata tamabhyavadata kositi vayurva ahamasmiti in matarishva va ahamasmiti. So he hastened there, he walked fast. And he was about to ask this Yaksha, this bright person that had come there, he was about to ask. Instead, the Yaksha said, Ruk, wahin par ruk. Kaun hai tu? Who are you? Kaha asi? Who are you? I said, I'm Vayu. Don't you know me? As Matarishva, aka I'm Vayu, also known as Matarishva. I am famously called as Matarishva. Matarishva means the one who can flow or move about everywhere. I don't need a visa, I don't need a permission, I can go anywhere. Acha. So to him, ask this Yaksha. I saw your one Agni that came by, ab tu kya ukhadega? Something like that. If you understand the spirit of the Tasmin tvayi kim viryam apidam sarvamadadiya yadidam prithivyamiti. So he says, what do you do? Tasmin tvayi kim viryam. What is your strength? What do you do? So what do you mean, what do I do? Don't you know what I can do? Apidam sarvam adadiyam. All this that you see. Yeah, I can see that. What can you do? He says, I can blow them away. Or I can shred it into pieces. Have you ever been near a tornado? Ever? If we live in a tornado belt. Have you ever seen a tornado close by? My advice, don't ever get close. Once I was driving from here to Fort Worth, long time ago, and our president, Ashokji, he casually called me. He was calling me to warn, there's a tornado warning. It seems to be a really big one. Don't go towards Fort Worth Yagna today. Cancel it. And where was I? I was already on 35, almost approaching downtown Fort Worth. I said, why? What happened? I said, it's raining crazy and it's not just a thunderstorm, there is a tornado warning. There are about 5-6 tornadoes touching down. And Fort Worth is the touchdown point that they are expecting. And that's when I realized that from distance, I could see something really heavy hovering around. अच्छा इसको tornado बोलते हैं. And for his moment of scare, I said, I can see it. Turn around, he said. And by then, people were all exiting. I was like, it was such a empty freeway. I'll zoom past this. I said, don't you think about zooming past it. Take some shelter, go into some big mall or a shop and take shelter there. So my good fortune that I turned around, took a U-turn, overbridge U-turn, and there was some Target or something. Just as you cross Euless Bedford, you see this. So one of those I got in. And in about 10 minutes, just about 10 minutes, there was this roaring sound. The reason I say my lucky stars is if I had just taken an exit and taken a shop somewhere there, it was that very shops that were completely devastated. There was a Walmart that got ripped right in the middle. The roofs, big roofs, and when I say big roof, it is not like a tiny thatched roof. I'm talking of a Texan-sized giant, lifted up and thrown across somewhere. Wind can be quite powerful. And he's saying that Sarvam Adadiyam. I can rip apart anything, blow anything into pieces. Anything on the earth, it's a piece of cake. So this Yaksha looked at him again. All that is fine. Pehle ye uda ke dikha. Try your might and strength on this. Your Agni came in, your buddy, and he was no good. He couldn't do nothing to this. So he says here, he challenges. He says, Tasmai Trinam Nidadau Etadadatsva Ideya Sarvajavena Tanna Shashakadatum Satatayeva Vignatum Yadetadyak. The same sample here. Okay. Try blowing this one first. Show me what you can do. Trinam Nidadau Adadatsva. Try blowing this, said the Yaksha iti. Tadupapreyaya, upapreyaya, having approached close to that, I'm again imagining here. So the first effort, nothing moved. Sarvajavena, with all his strength, tried blowing that blade of grass. and nothing happened. Nothing moved. And he was like, trying to, bus, chal, hut. All with his eyes, this yaksha must have looked down upon this Vayu as well. So not able to ask further because he couldn't prove his worth. Came, hung his head and returned back. I cannot find who this yaksha is. Now everybody looked at, apun se nahi hone wala hai sab. Looked up to Indra. And they said, I don't think we can do anything. Vayu tried, Agni tried, both of them failed. I think it is now up to you. That atha Indram abruvan maghavanyetat vijanihi किमेतद् यक्षमिति तथेति तदभ्यद्रवत तस्मात् तिरोधधे. So everybody looked up to Indra. Indra is the king of gods. They said, Maghavan, O God of gods, O king of gods, etad vijanihi, only you can go and find out who this yaksha is. And Indra said, okay, I will. And he also puffed up his chest and started walking. As he reached to this yaksha, the yaksha looked down upon him, up and down, and said, another fellow. And he must have, waved his hand, and tirodhade, he completely vanished from that thin air without even giving him an appointment. Imagine the earlier two, they were at least spoken to. It's not like, you're not even worth spending time to talk to. And he just vanished. What happened there? While this happened, this Indra, being the sharpest one among all these devas, he started thinking in the right direction. Thinking, something spectacular happened. What happened? Tasmin eva akashe striyamajagama bahushobhamanam umam haimavatim tam hovacha spot where that yaksha vanished without a trace. Right there, right at that spot, there was this divine lady that appeared. Striyam ajagama. She appeared. How was she? Bahushobhamanam. Bahushobhamanam. She was looking very, very divine. Very powerful. Extremely charming. And who was she? Uma Haimavati. Uma Haimavati, that goddess Parvati ji, who is also known as Uma. Anybody with the name Uma? One of the funniest definitions that I have heard of Uma is that she heard of Lord Shiva and his attributes. And she was so, her mind was so attracted to that aspect of Shiva that she said, I will do whatever it takes to achieve that Shiva. And she did severe penance. Such was the severe well-wishers that found her, warn her, like in a typical Indian language, if somebody looks at you and says, what does that mean? It is disapproving. And then immediately, ma. Ma means don't. So that became a nickname for her. Parvati ji's nickname is Uma. Isn't that a funny story? Ma. Don't. That Uma Parvati, that Devi, Bahushobhamanam, very beautiful, very divine looking, appeared right there. And this Indra, who was very intensely thinking, what is happening here? Let me step back, think. There's somebody who just crashed this party. He was looking, when his presence was very powerful. And then two people go talk to him. He tests them, they fail. Now I go to talk to him, he doesn't even give me an appointment. Who could it be? Who came down to test me? Who came down to test us all as a group? What is happening here? Then as soon as this Uma Hemavati appeared, he directs that question sincerely towards her. O mother, who was that Yaksha that appeared right at that spot where you are appearing right now? Who could he have been? Because he recognized who she was. That she was Uma Parvati. Now let us tie it down to a better understanding that can provide some room of scope for our understanding to evolve into. One of the meanings of the word Deva is Dyotanat Devaha. Dyotanat, that because of who there is illumination. That because of who there is illumination. Can you all see me? Not a trick question, a simple question. Can you all see me? Thank you. I can also see all of you. Sometimes some of you are yawning and some are like, where is this story going? Story is okay, but where is it going? Speculatively listening. Some are really interested. Oh, this is a good story. Never heard this story. And no Amar Chitrakatha ever covered this story. This is a good discovery. Amused by the story. I can also see. This mutual seeing can happen because Dyotanat Deva, which is shining this hall, wherein it makes it makes it a possibility for me to see you and for you to see me. So from that technical definition, all these light illumining bulbs and tube lights, what can we call them? Deva, right? Because they're illumining. That is the definition. Dyotanat Deva. And if you remember our Tattva Bodha class, wherein every organ of perception, action and the internal organs are invoked through the presence of a certain divinity. Whenever we chant, say, Rudram or Vishnu Sahasranamam or Lalita Sahasranamam, there is a certain portion which is chanted before the actual mantra. Like if it is in Rudram, Athatmanagam Shivatmanagam Sri Rudra Rupam Dhyayet. And then what do? You do Hridayanyasa, Anganyasa, Karanyasa. What are you doing in Nyasa? Means to be able to invoke that divinity and firmly root them in that organ of perception or action. So we can see, because the eyes are blessed by the presence of Surya and Chandra. The ears the ears are invoked through the presence of the Dig Devatas. The nostrils can smell because of the presence of the Ashwini Kumara. The tongue is invoked in the presence of Lord Agni. Of all these instruments put together, our mind, our intellect, Antakarana, that is the most powerful tool that we have. If we don't use it, then we are recognized as a tool. Somebody is not being sincere or not being, applying themselves well, then we will be ridiculed. Because that powerful tool that we have is blessed by the presence of Indra, the most powerful one. It is by the command of our intellect that the mind interfaces through the organs of perception action into the world outside. So there are all these organs of perception action, and there is their boss, Indra. And this Indra is residing in the intellect. Do you remember Tatpoda? Sort of, kind of. Can I take a quick test? Really? Not right now. So you should have memorized those things. Swamiji, what are you talking about? The whole book? Geez, give us a break. Every human effort has constantly been to find that divinity, finding which I am assured of bliss and peace. I'm not trivializing it, but I'm trying to bring it to a point wherein we can appreciate what is being talked about. As my questioning has always been, is there anyone here who does not want happiness and peace? Peace and happiness? I promise you, the rest of us will provide it to you in plenty. Is there anybody who does not want peace and joy? At least in my 23 years of experience, I am yet to come across a person who would say, Swamiji, invoke some blessings on my behalf. Pray for me. The next project that I am taking is to be 100% totally miserable. Now, you don't need to put an effort to be miserable. We are effortlessly there already. If at all, we are planning every single action to find a certain amount of peace and that joy. Whether we are spiritual or not, whether we are religious or not, whether you are someone who understands the Upanishad or not, intrinsically we all are aiming for that peace and joy. And what does this story say? It shows that effort. Where do we want to find that joy? Where do we want, or through what do we want that joy and happiness to be an experience? Through various interactions of these devas invoked through our organs of perception action in the field outside that it can provide certain sense of joy and happiness. And their failure, what is it? How much ever we may try to find that joy and happiness outside, we constantly will disappoint ourselves because that joy, that happiness cannot be found out there. We almost reach that it is there, I'm going to catch it, I'm going to grab it, I almost caught it. But it is like the sand slipping through your hand. That you almost get it, but you lose it. You thought getting into certain environment that you have been constantly passionate about. I wanted to be a lawyer, I wanted to be a businessman, I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be, especially the brown community. Nothing other than this is ever called an education. Whatever your passions that you are conditioned for, you found it, you really slogged through, got in. That is when you realize that the actual battle now begins. Getting in, I thought, was the hardest part. After getting in is when actual hardness is perceived. How many times while going through it, you come across the thought, what am I even doing with my life? Is this what I really want to be in? Really? Have you questioned yourself? Yes, no? Give me a nod. If you think that nod is being observed by others, at least move your eyelashes. I'm quite perceptive. I'll get it. Man, this sucks. I got in here with such enthusiasm. About these things. Okay, I'll dedicate my life to Chinmaya mission or some seva. That's the nobler than the noblest. Because from outside it is so inspiring. There's so much that can be done. And you come inside and you have to deal with different mindsets. Each one horrible than the other one. There's so much of, I can't tell you how much. So much of negativities. And then people are very deceptive in their conclusions. And there's so many that air their opinion. Swamiji, I thought this is a spiritual institution. Actually, there's no fun being here. I thought this was something different. You thought wrong. Because those who are a part of that which you think as a great opportunity to serve are not directly from heaven. They are as good as you or as bad as you. Am I getting across? So you go through a first phase of, first is the inspiration. Then you go through a phase of disenchantment. Yucks, this really is a stinking place. The stench is unbearable. I'm better off not being spiritual than being spiritual. I quit. And these are quite natural that we go through these emotions. But what we fail to recognize is we are still, even in the name of spirituality, trying to use the same old methods which we have not found anywhere else. And we are so, conditioned to look at that same situation with the old conditioning, refusing to move forward, evolve from that method. Why? Because I have not known anything better. I have not known anything subtler than what I have been seeing all my life. and to drop that which I am confident, which I've been applying all through my life, suddenly, and to take a complete U-turn, it takes quite a courage. And that's why Mundaka Upanishad Shruti says very beautifully, Na ayam supreme divine cannot be the field of somebody who is weakling, could not tolerate the outside world and pressure, could not manage to find some balance in the job and work, could not, they buckled down under the pressure where they were supposed to learn. And funnily, there are people that come to me and they say, Swamiji, this is my older kid. It's happened in multiple various formats, but this format is the funniest one. So this Amma, the mother, is introducing her son. He speaks in English, hard-foot baat kar leta hai. But he has attempted at 12th grade getting across the high school 6-7 times and he has not been successful. We tried it. He has tried a couple of places. So we finally decided, we finally thought, if not anything else, at least he could become a brahmachari in Chinmaya mission. What teri? In asking me a request, you're actually dissing me right there. Usually I don't take things personally, but that statement, I hell will take it personally. How dare you assume that those who have already been in the spiritual path are such failures? If you have failed in the outside world, you cannot be successful in the spiritual world. If those simple pressures of life you could not have handled, to come into the spiritual field, घास भी नहीं उखाड़ पाएगा. Literally, the example there was the blade of grass. Even that cannot be moved. When I was doing Vedanta course, there was this person that came in, actually a couple of them. And their idea was, ashrama means that place where you could chill, relax. Their interpretation of ashrama is that where there is no shrama. Shrama is effort. Everything will be provided and you eat, sleep and enjoy. And you join the Vedanta course, Baba re Baba. Morning 4 o'clock, that ghanti. Still is 4 o'clock, right? 4 o'clock. And those of you who have done the YUP course, what time was the bell? 5 o'clock. And we give the bell to ring right in your ears. From 4 o'clock and ends at 10:30, back to back to back. And so much of information overload constantly. And this will be like, I thought I could come here, chill, relax, eat, sleep. What is this back to back? This is not spirituality. This is how you have defined your condition into spirituality. And within 2 months, we call that as falling of the wickets. I mean, cricket. एक के बाद एक cricket wicket गिरते जाएंगे. Because if you have not had the capacity to face life, if you have not chewed it enough, you cannot chew anything in the spiritual world. That is what Indra is here. What was his first experience? Utter sheer failure. That even he could not even approach that divine to even ask a question or be even asked by that divine. He just vanished. To recognize, what is the first step? being humble. And this humility can get shattered in multiple ways. And the worst thing about humility is the moment you claim it, you have lost it. Oh, I am humble. There goes. Tuck. Your humility gone. Why do the children look so, pleasing? That they are innocent and they don't claim to be innocent. Is about the humility as well. Indra saw the first failure. Should I give up? He stood his ground. He started re-evaluating his standpoint. Where did we go wrong? Contextualize this in our lives. One particular example, which is very close to my heart. There's this busy businessman that comes to meet Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi Ji. And he comes straight. There are people, in front of Bhagwan, and he pushes them all. Bhagwan, I've taken time off of my busy schedule. I'm a very busy businessman back in Chennai. I've taken time off. Whole day I'll spend with you. I have an evening train to catch. Quickly teach me spirituality. Fatafat. A BKB. Now. So Bhagwan looks at him and says, that's not how spirituality is dealt with. I may be prepared to say it, you are not prepared to learn. What do you mean? What do you mean I am not ready? Do you know how accomplished I am? Pata hai main kaun hu? Where you are, man. I don't see that readiness in you. Imagine if that is not the priority. You already booked your evening back journey. Where is your priority? Not to learn, to get back. So try me. I have tried so many things. This shouldn't be that difficult. If you are sharp enough in teaching, I am sharp enough to learn. So Bhagwan lifts his hand. Ramana Maharshi Ji lifts his hand and starts moving his finger. And this fellow says, what are you pointing at? Kahan? Where? And he turns around where the finger would have been pointing at and looks at it. And then again looks at Bhagwan and then says, what are you pointing at? I can't see anything. Bhagwan says, did I not tell you that you are not ready for it? And then this fellow says, very innocently, now this is cheating. You point at something and you say that is, God. I can't even see. Point at something that which I can grasp. If I cut my finger and throw it on the floor, do you think that will move? So no, it will not. You are focusing on that which is being pointed. I am trying to bring your attention to that because of which this finger is moving. That because of which the eyes are functioning in their field. How blessed are we? Have you ever had some soap drop into your eye while you're washing your face? Next 5 minutes, how was your vision? Could you see clearly? Seeing when that functional eye is blessed with that divine, connected with the divine, allowing that eyes to see. We hear because the unfortunate thing is that the ears are open. Imagine eyes have flaps. If the ears also had some flaps, we would have been sitting through satsang. The satsang, the first prayer would have been, Bhaiya log, please open your ears. Aahista aahista, आराम से. Unfortunately, we don't have such flaps and the sound goes in. So we hear, but we don't listen. That because of which the hearing happens, that because of which that which is heard can be grasped as something tangible. Though I'm taking this example, I'm not trying to be insensitive to that environment. But as I said, I have weird imagination. There's a dead body. All the family is around, crying. You have gone. तू छोड़ के चला गया. अब मेरा क्या होगा? हाय मेरा क्या होगा? Everybody crying. Do you think the dead body there you're all like clogging and it's suffocating here? Imagine if the dead body were to say that to you. You would be freaked out, running in all directions. Or suddenly, I've been lying down here. Get some pillow. It's too hard sleeping here. Or no, I've been lying here. I've been hungry. So chai pakode le aao. Get some chai. Get some pakodas. Do you think the dead body can hear anything, taste anything, smell anything? That because of which that hearing can happen, taste can happen, smell can happen, is because of that presence of that spark of life. So who should we be actually thankful to? Can you all see? Can you all hear? I should have started with that. Can you all hear? Can you all see? Can you all taste? Can you all feel? कुछ कुछ होता है. तुझको देखा तो ऐसा लगा जैसे कुछ कुछ होता है. Feel. Do you understand what I'm speaking? Thank you. Isn't all this possible because of that spark of life? Without whose presence, nothing of this could have ever happened. The moment we recognize that it is because of the presence of that divine, that spark of life, who am I to claim in between? Who do I have the audacity to claim that it is me, moi? I am doing it. Can you do it without that presence of that divine? So shouldn't we be thankful to that divinity as the foremost than anything else outside? That day when this concept clicks in, you consistent through, I have evolved as a seeker. That day I have made a U-turn, and that day of thankfulness is worthy of celebrating. Somebody said, today is my birthday. I'm celebrating it. I said, do something such divine in your life that others feel compelled to celebrate your presence. What have you achieved to really be worthy of celebrating? Am I getting across? As it has become a norm. But today is my birthday. क्या उखाड़ लिया? Anything special that you have achieved? Anything that you have contributed? Anything that's so noble that your presence is appreciated by, if not hundreds, at least a handful? Just surviving would not be sufficient. We have to learn how to live. We are conditioned only to live making a living and not learn how to actually be thankful to that life which has actually granted us the permission to experience the world outside. That day when I recognize it, truly recognize it, humility flows outwardly to every single individual, to every single environment. In fact, Gurudev used to say to us when we were brahmacharis, his constant message was, be thankful that there are few handful that come down to listen to you. It's not because you are an erudite scholar that they have come to listen. They're giving you an opportunity to talk to yourself. So first talk to you. That's a bonus. That sense of humility spread across in every walk of life. In recognizing that I am a possibility in this moment only because of that spark of divine. Devoid of which I am mere nothing, worthy enough to be discarded. So where should our focus be? See, when you're done with the banana, you eat the fruit, what do you do with the skin? It gets discarded. Should our focus be on that which is being discarded or on the fruit itself? If you understand that simple logic, how can I miss this clear message that I am a possibility in this particular moment only because of that touch of divine, that I can function, I can evaluate, I can understand, I can feel, without which I am mere nothing, worthy enough to be discarded. That thankfulness which is born through this humility is true thankfulness. And to that divine, who is a constant presence, who is constantly providing opportunities for us to evolve to this sense of humility, that we should be continuously thankful to. Therefore, we say namaste, that divine in you is what I worshipfully offer my salutations unto. Where this ahankara is not required, that which is discard worthy is not important. Therefore, in that statement, namaste, te is important, namaskara, the act of salutations, is important, aham is not important, therefore it is not even mentioned. So let us be thankful to that divine who provides that opportunity in and through every single to be in touch with that spark of life. To the next chapter, that is the key message. How do I tune myself constantly to that divine? That we will see next week. Happy Thanksgiving again. Om Shant Shant Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. In that